And we're live.
Welcome, friends, to the Society of American Magicians Lecture Series. I'm Joel Batman Zaritsky, the National Virtual President of the SAM, and welcome to Season 2. And on behalf of our amazing team, John Midgley, Matthew Crabtree, Brett Soule, Dr. Matthew Thomas, Bruce Calver, thank you for being here. The reason why we're here, well, it's all because of you joining us and pitching in. You made it happen for Season 2. We're going to be coming to you every 2 weeks, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, for, well, the next, actually, couple months. So we look forward to seeing you here. And again, I see people in the gallery and I see people on YouTube that from all around the world. And thank you, because you're the energy that's driving this engine. You're the energy of the SAM. So thank you. So let's get to tonight's lecture. He's an actor, magician, television host, and producer. He was on X-Files, The Huntress, Flashword, the Discovery Channel, Science Channel, Biography Channel. He was on Masters of Illusion and on VH1 as the host of Celebracadabra. He's a magic consultant, having worked on movies such as Now You See Me and The Incredible Wonderstone. And Teller summed it up perfectly when he said, Jonathan is funny, elegant, and disturbingly smart, like something cuddly with really sharp teeth. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Jonathan Levit.
Hello. Wow. Thank you so much, Joel. Thanks for having me, and thanks to Brett and John for putting all this together as well. And thanks to all of you. I have to say, this is it's a tad bit overwhelming. I'm looking at this gallery of wonderful people and some people that I haven't seen in a long time, old friends. Billy Byron, I can't believe it. I haven't talked to you in ages. Good to see you. Kim's here. Everybody's here. Sean's here. Amazing. Nice to see you. So thank you for being here with me. And I'm very humbled to be doing this with you. So today, what are we doing today? What are we doing? So for the next 6.5 hours, we're going to talk about card tricks. No, we just shy of that, actually. I want to show you some tricks today that I know that you will enjoy. At least I hope you do. Effects that are straight out of what I do. Anything that I show you today is what I do, right? There's nothing in my lecture, and there never has been anything in my lectures that I say, you know what, that'll be good for a lecture. It's all magic that I perform. And usually how that works is I do something, I think, oh, I should teach that. So that's what I'm doing. And along the way, we're going to use those tricks to talk about structure and psychology and working with an audience. And so the tricks become tools for us to talk about all these other things. So that's the plan. And I encourage you to ask questions. There's nothing worse than just talking at a screen with no feedback. I desperately miss being in front of a live audience, whether it be performing or giving lectures. So please ask questions. And I know that our team is on it looking for those chats. So if you've got questions, please bring them in. Okay. So let's get started. All right. What are we talking about? I want to talk to you about my opening piece that I've been doing. You know, this has been an interesting time. Zoom shows, right? Zoom has become the name like Band-Aid and Kleenex, but Zoom shows or virtual shows have changed our world. They've changed the way that we are presenting magic, and we have to adapt to that. And I'm sure that not all of you are jumping into that pool. Some of you, I'm sure, are. Some of you I know are. So the question is, what do we do to adapt? And I wanted to show you the opening routine that I've been doing, which is basically an offshoot of what I do in my normal live performance anyway. And I'd like to talk to you about why I do it and the differences between how I've done it live and how I'm doing it now, because I think it's interesting and what we can do to adapt. And we have to find ways. I think we have to, I've had many people ask me and consult with me and say, what do I do? How do I structure an act for virtual performances? And what we're doing is we're changing the way that we interact with the camera. We're changing the way we interact with our audiences. We're changing our own character a little bit. We're changing the effects that work. It's no longer about the touchy-feely part of it all. We have to find a way to do it over the camera. So taking tricks that we used to do, adapting them to the new medium, coming up with new ideas that fit the new medium. And so that's what we're going to talk about. So I want to start with my opening routine and the reason that I do it. My character is not the traditional mentalist, as you might think of one being. And anybody that's seen me knows that I'm not the I'm going to read your mind guy. But unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but a lot of magic that seems to happen or take place over this virtual medium kind of falls into the category of mentalism, because we have to somehow connect with an audience. And so mentalism does seem to come up quite a bit. But I'm not that traditional guy, and even in live performances. So even though I do a lot of that kind of magic, I want a way for the audience to know that I'm fun and they'll enjoy being there with me, but also to know that I have some chops and I can actually do this stuff. So it's all about merging those two different personalities, if you will. So I'm going to start with this and then we'll go from there. Let's see. I'm going to ask a few people to help me out. Let me go into, I'm going to do this. And if I call on you, I'm going to ask that you unmute yourself, and then we'll go from there. And if you don't know, you can press the space bar on your keyboard to temporarily unmute yourself. That makes it a little bit easier. So why don't we start? Oh, hey, Sean. I'm just looking around the screen for someone to help me. Actually, Billy, why don't we start with you? Billy, you want to help me? All right. Billy Byron, I'm going to bring you in because I haven't seen you in a long time. Let me see how I do this. There we are. Billy, how are you, man? Oh, I can't hear you. Can everybody else hear Billy?
No. Yes,
Billy, you're muted.
Now we
There
have
you
it.
are.
Now we have it.
Got it.
Hey, there we go. So you can unmute yourself entirely, or you can press the space bar while you're talking and then release.
Oh, no, the host had me muted.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to blame him. Yeah,
Well, Billy, you're going to go sit in the corner,
I know.
put on that dunce cap. That's right. Billy, nice to see you, man.
Nice to see you.
Hey, we're going to start with this, okay? I thought we would start with the easy stuff, move on from there, move to the hard stuff. So we're going to start with the mentalism, mind reading, okay? Look okay?
Okay.
Just a box, right?
Empty. Yeah.
So, Billy, it's just a box, but this box is your job. Okay? Your job. Keep your eye on that box. Make sure I don't come near it. And we have a very tight frame. It's easy for me to misdirect you if we're in person, but here I can't do it. So we got to be very careful. Billy, I'm going to, why don't we start with you? I'll have you pick a card too. Now, look, I'm going to have 3 people select a card. And we're going to do this in as fair way as you can, maybe different ways, but all fair. I want you to know I'm not telling you a lie. I'm not looking at the camera and I'm not going to look at the monitor. I'm going to look away. So nothing to see. Okay. So Billy, just very quickly say stop for me, please.
Stop.
I want you to look at the card and remember it. You got it?
Yep.
I'm going to close it up. Make sure you've got the card. Okay.
I got it.
Fair?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So nothing. So you got a card in mind. I don't know what it is. All right. Billy, I appreciate it. We're going to come back to you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's bring somebody else in here. Rod. How about Rod Chow? Will you help me?
Yeah.
Hey, Rod. Okay. Rod, good to see you, man. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Rod, I'm going to have you select a card as well. But again, I want it to be as fair as possible. Normally, I'd have you select a card, but you can't do it that way. So why don't we do this? I'll spread the cards out. Can you see those cards? Let's see.
Pull
Can
them
you see
back
those?
just a bit. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, Billy, I'm moving the case.
I'm watching you. Okay, that's good.
Okay, good. Okay. All right. So here, we'll just do this. We'll make it as fair as possible. Say stop.
Stop. Stop.
Right there. Okay, look, wait, right there. Good?
Yeah. Back a bit.
Okay.
Back a bit.
Right
Yeah.
there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Look, in fact, I'll make it more fair for you. Where you stopped, I'll take a bunch of cards out, and you can see they're
Okay.
not a one-way deck. Okay. All right. All right. So we got a bunch of cards here. We'll do this. Oh, you can't see those. We'll do this. Here, one card. We only need one. You say yes to the card that you want.
Okay.
Yes or no?
No. No.
Okay.
No. 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 Yes.
Last one. Okay. Look, I'm going to look away. I'm going to look away. I'm going to look away. Got it?
Okay. Got it. Got it.
Okay. Okay. Fair?
Yeah. Fair.
That's pretty fair. Totally
Yeah.
fair. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's two. Thanks a lot, Rod. I'll come back to you. Okay. I'll come back to you, Rod. Okay. Who else are we going to bring in? Let's bring in one more person. How about Paul? You've got the best backdrop there. So why don't we go with you? Okay.
All righty.
All right. Paul, we'll do this. You know what? I'll make this totally fair. I'm going to have you just look and see a card. Totally fair. Okay. So just look and see a card. Tell me if you got one. Oh, I can't hear you. Did you get one? I think you're muted. Paul, take yourself
There
off
we
mute.
go. Okay. I'm off now.
Did you get one or you want to see it again?
I want to see it again.
Oh, sorry. You got one?
Yes.
All right. Is it the bottom one?
No, it isn't.
Good. Okay. All right. So good. You've got a card in mind. Don't forget it. Say it over and over in your head. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good. Thanks, guys. Okay. So we've got 3 cards selected. Totally fair. Couldn't be more fair. So now let's do this. We'll start with Billy. Billy, look at me. Look at me in the eyes.
Gotcha.
Got it, Billy?
Yeah.
Okay, buddy. Billy, you have a red card?
Yes.
Not impressed. All right, that's fine. That's okay. It's all right. Rod, look at me. Look at me in the eyes. Red card.
No.
No, don't tell me. Is it black? This is not easy, people. Have you ever read minds before? It ain't easy. Bear with me. Not easy. All right. Okay. I'm doing it over the camera. By the way, if I could do it, okay, it's hard. Look at me. Paul, look at me. You have a black card as well?
No.
No, red card. Wow, this is hard. Boy, I'm batting 1,000. First time out on a lecture. I'm embarrassed. I can't believe it. Billy, you have a red card?
Yes.
Oh, that's all I got. Rod, you have a black card. It's a spade.
Yes.
Paul, you've got a heart. Am I right? You got a heart?
Yes.
No. Oh.
No, Rod, you have a spade.
Yes.
You have a spade. Rod. Is your card the 3 of spades?
Got it.
Is that it?
Yes. It is.
Excellent. That's 1. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Very nice. Thank you. Look, I got 1. Paul, I have no idea. And Billy, I'm having a hard time with yours, but I got 1 card. I read 1 mind, which, by the way, is more than most people can do. Not bad, especially over the virtual Zoom. It's almost impossible. Look, when I see you I can read your expressions. I can do a little bit of cold reading. I can't do anything over this virtual sit. Nobody's even talking to me. So the fact that I can read a mind is unbelievable. Let's just have that at it. All right, but hold on, Paul.
Yes.
I feel bad about yours. Billy, let me ask you a question. Billy,
Yes.
what was yours? I just got to know, what was yours?
My card, the 10
Yeah.
of diamonds.
The 10 of diamonds?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. No. It's impossible.
Have you been
Impossible.
keeping an eye on that?
Yes, I kept both eyes
Have
on
I
it.
come near that? Have
No.
I come near it?
No.
I mean, right?
Uh,
Listen, you hear that?
I hear it.
Billy, if there's a card in this box, that's amazing.
Yes, it would
It
be.
doesn't even matter what the card is.
This is true.
Right? Doesn't matter what it is. The fact that there's anything in the box is amazing.
Oh.
Come on, Billy.
Ah.
Unbelievable. One card, one card. What did you say your card was?
10 of diamonds.
The 10 of diamonds. I got it. That's number 2. Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you. That's 2. I got 2. Haha. I feel great about this. And I got 2 cards. Not bad. Paul, I feel terrible about yours, but come on, let's be honest. You're just thinking about it. In fact, who knows if you even saw anything. But I do have to ask, what was your card? I just got to know.
King of Hearts.
What is it?
King of Hearts.
The Queen of Hearts?
Keen.
Oh, the King of Hearts. Really?
Yes.
The King of Hearts.
Yes.
I mean, right? Come on. If that card is the King of Hearts, you're going to go nuts. Oh. 3. I got all 3. There it is. There it is. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. Thanks. So that is, so that's the opening routine. Okay. So this is the way that I've been starting all of my Zoom shows, all of my virtual shows. And it is an offshoot of what I do in my live shows, but I had to adapt. I had to change the way it was, especially over this. And the reason that I'm doing it as an opening routine is I want to show the audience that I can do this stuff, right? That I'm capable, but I don't want to take myself too seriously. So I want to give them a little bit of tension and release. We're always doing this, right? Tension and release. This is key to any strong performance and structure is have the audience tense and then release. And when they release, that's when you can do anything, right? It's in that offbeat, that release of tension that you can accomplish anything. Simone, nice to see you. Wow, you're here too. Nice to see you. All right, so yeah, so release and tension. So tension and release. So this trick is designed, in fact, most of what I do is designed to have tension and release. And in this case, we get one of the cards, we don't get the 2 others. It's a little bit of a fail, but then we come back to it and then we get the 1 card and then it just continues up we just continue to add layers to it. So I want to show that I can do it, that I can actually accomplish what I'm saying. In fact, a follow-up line to this is, did I really read your minds? Yeah, I probably did. Right? So the reality is, did I not? Let's just ask the question and move on with the rest of the show and make people wonder, how did that actually happen? So it's very important to me that I establish that I can actually do this stuff right off the bat, but not take myself too seriously. I want the audience to enjoy being there with me. I recently received a very nice compliment from a performer and a friend and a magician and someone who's hired me for some virtual shows. And he said, what he enjoys about the shows is that it's as if we're all together in the same room and it's really about them and not about me, and they're taking part in it. And it's not just my demonstrating magic. And I think that's important as well. How can we bring people into the show, whether it's live or even more difficult, how do we bring people in over the Zoom or the virtual space? And it's really about engaging and asking them questions and not being afraid to interact in this way. Don't be afraid to reach through that 4th wall, or in this case, the camera wall, and ask questions. So let's talk about how this works and the differences from what I used to do is in live performances, and hopefully will again sometime in the future, and how I'm doing it now. So this is 3 reveals, 3 card selections, 3 peaks in some way, and they're all done differently. And that's key. They're all done differently. So let's start with this. I'll start with the first one. I've been doing this routine. It used to be done with 4 cards. Now it's done with 3 in most cases for expediency. But I realized a long time ago, I was having 4 cards selected at random, and then having to remember those 4 cards. And then at a certain point in my life, I said, why am I doing that? Why don't I force at least 1 card? I'll force 1 card. And if I force 1 card, that means that's 1 less card I have to remember the next show. It just becomes part of what I do. So now I force 1 card and the others are completely random. And I remember what those cards are once I get the peak. So the first card comes as a force. And by forcing that card, that also opens up other possibilities, which I'll talk about. So let's talk about the force first. I am using, you can use any force you like, and a lot of you have, I'm sure, different forces you might choose to employ. Classic force, which is very hard to do over Zoom, right? You could do a dribble force, you could do that more. But I like this corner riffle force, and to do it, I'm using a short card. I am of the mindset that you use every tool in your arsenal. Do not be afraid to use anything you can to aid you in your mission of fooling the audience and making it as clean as possible. So even though I am able to do a lot of sleight of hand and finger flicking, that sleight of hand should support your magic. It shouldn't replace your magic, and it shouldn't replace your method if you can get there in a more expedient way. So I use a corner short, and by a show of hands on this first gallery, how many of you are familiar with a corner short? Most of you are. Great. All right. So just to show you what I'm doing with a corner short, and for those of you who don't know, a corner short is when you cut the corners, the opposite corners of the card a little shorter. Okay. And when you do that, you just round them off. That allows you to do many things. One, to control a card. So if I, or to control to a location of a card. So if I have that in the middle of the deck and I corner and I riffle, let's say the back corner, I can riffle right to that corner short card, right? Very simple. If I'm riffling in this way, I can riffle right to the corner short card, okay? So the corner short is a valuable tool. I use it all the time. I have some routines where I have 2 corner shorts in the deck at any one time, and 1 to 2 scallop cards as well. And I'll talk about a scallop card, which I think is also an intensely powerful tool. Let me see. I don't know if I have a scallop card here. I'll have to find one. All right. So a corner short. Here's what I'm doing with the corner short. I am placing my corner short, there it is, right in front of my force card, which in this case is the 10 of diamonds. And then I am simply riffling very quickly. And when I stop on the corner short, there's the card that I show. Very simple force. But there's some psychology that needs to happen here. Here's what you don't want. You don't want to say, in fact, Paul, I'll have you do this. If you would take yourself off of mute for me, please. Okay. And Paul, I'm just going to have you say stop, please. I saw your lips movement. Okay, right there. Perfect. Perfect. So you want to take yourself off of mute. There you are. I think you're, say something, Paul. Say something to me. Speak. Can't hear you. Okay, you're still on mute, Paul. Still on mute. There you go. Say something. Still on mute. Okay. All right. I don't know if we have to allow them to take themselves off mute.
There we go.
Or
They took me
there
off.
you go.
I'm
Okay, cool. All right, Paul. So when you say stop, say stop.
Stop. Stop.
Right there. Perfect. All right. So that's what you don't want, right? So you want to time yourself accordingly. So what I tend to do is I put my corner short about a quarter of the way down in the deck. And you can actually see it if you look closely. I wonder if I can get this angle here. You can actually see the corner. It's hard to see on Zoom, but you can see the corner short. When you look down at the deck, you can actually see it. So I say stop very quickly. So that's something else that I do is I say, just do me a favor, very quickly say stop. And by saying very quickly, that will entice you to go faster. And then I riffle. So now if there's a little bit of a delay, it's just human nature. So Paul, say stop.
Stop.
Right. And I'm right there. So
Yeah.
We have a delay here on the video, but yes. So time yourself, make sure you're not going too far. and too fast or too slow. So very quickly say stop, there we go. And then I'm pulling back to show the card. And here's something I do in live performance. It's not as necessary here on Zoom, but in live performance, if I have somebody here and I say stop, they do, and then I pull back to show them the card, I'm actually doing this. I'm pulling back farther because I'm not just showing the card to the one person, I'm showing the card to the people next to that person.
Yeah.
You don't want that one person to be the only person to see the card and they forget it, which they do, and they will. So pull all the way back, let other people see the card, and then close it up. So you've got your first card is a force. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it. So your first card is a force. Very, very simple. And now that it's forced, you can do anything you want with it. I have it go to the card case. You can have it do something else. I'll tell you what I used to do with it. I'll come back to that in a minute. The next two selections are free selections, but I do have to get a peek in some sort of way. Here's what I used to do when I'm in live performance. Say stop for me. Somebody says stop. I show the card. Actually, I'm sorry. In live performance, I was doing a thumb peek, right? So they would actually touch the cards, pull back. I'd get a pinky break, and then I would get a peek of the card. Okay, so very straightforward and easy. But one, I can't do that over Zoom, and I don't want to repeat the same action, so I don't want to do it myself and then do it again. The nice thing about doing it live was that they would do it. And when we come back after all this, I don't know if anybody's going to have permission to touch anything. So we may be modifying everything we're doing anyway, and having to find new ways to interact with audiences. So that doesn't work for me anymore either. So what did I do to adapt to this case? I did this. I'm using a marked deck of cards. Now that's nothing unusual about that, but I love using a marked deck. I believe in it. I think marked decks are amazing. I don't use the marked cards for everything that I do, but I use them for certain things along the way. So I've got a marked deck of cards. That allows me to very fairly have somebody say stop, takes a block of cards out, say yes or no to those cards, and then I'm simply looking at the mark. It's so easy. I'm not even afraid to tell you that I'm doing it. I'm not afraid to tell you because it's okay. Use every tool in your toolbox. I'm not using the mark for everything. I'm just using it in this case for this one peek. So that allows me to peek the card, look away. I know what it is. It's all about being fair anyway. So that gets us to our third option, our third peek, which is my fan force. So in this case, I'm using a fan force, which is this. You look at any card you want, and I get to peek what that card is. So let's go over a fan force because I think this is a very valuable thing, very valuable. So here's how it works. You force the cards, and I'm going to put them up to the camera for you to see. But right now, it's hard to get a focus on any of it, really. So I'm going to bring somebody else in here. Let me bring in Dana Ring. How about that? Dana, you want to help me out? Dana, how are you? Go ahead and unmute yourself, Dana Ring. I don't know if you've got to give permission for Dana to do that. Nope, can't do it. So I don't know if it's us or you. I don't know, Joel, do we have to give permission for people to unmute?
I'm clicking on the asking them to unmute. It says he's unmuted right now, but his
When he
mic
speaks,
not
we can't
maybe.
hear him.
Yeah.
It's on his end, yes.
So his mic just may not be set up right through
All
Zoom.
right, Dana, my apologies. I'm going to bring somebody else in here. Sorry about that. Matt Groudon. We're going to bring in Matt Groudon. Can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Hey, good to see you. All right, Matt, I'm going to have you look at a card, okay? I've got a pretty tight fan here, and here's what I'm going to do for the fan force. I'm just going to as I bring my hand up, my second and third fingers are just going to spread the cards like that. That's it, okay? So I'm going to bring up, spread the cards, and I'm going to say, look at a card. Do you see one? Do you have it? Did you get one?
Yes.
Now, I need to peek that in some way. So I'm going to say, it's not the bottom one, is it?
No.
Oh, and then that allows me to look at the spread, okay? So it's very quick, right? Forget that card for a second. I'm going to do another one with you, okay? All right. by the way, I've been using the fan force for years. It is one of the coolest things because it seems so fair. Just look and see a card. You got one?
Yep.
It's not the bottom one, is it?
No.
Okay, so now I've got 1 to 3 cards that I'm focused on. It's either the 2 of diamonds or the king of clubs.
You're right. Yep.
So I have 1 to 3 cards that I'm focused on because I saw that spread of cards, but I don't know what they are. So I need to fish for them a little bit. And that fishing gets me to where I need to be. So if I'm thinking of the 2 of diamonds or the king of clubs, I'm going to say along the way as a joke, I think it's the king of clubs, but I'm not sure, but I think it is.
No.
It's not, was it the 2 of diamonds?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say it was the king. Okay. Cause it's one of the 2. So I'm going to say, it was a red card.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if it's, let's say it's the 2 of diamonds, it's a black card. Yeah.
No.
No, don't tell me. Is it red? This is not easy, people. So a joke, an old joke, but a joke that helps to diffuse the situation and gives me information. So now I know if it's the king of clubs or 2 of diamonds, I know it's going to be a 2 of diamonds. And I feel pretty confident about that. So now that I have that, I can do something with it, like switch it in at the end. So I'm always looking for ways to kind of up this and change. You know, you're taking somebody down a path and you're doing this. So it isn't just 3 reveals. Your card is the 2 of diamonds. Your card is the 4 of spades. Your card is the 10 of diamonds. It's 10 of diamonds. I don't have yours. No, rather I don't have yours. It's a red card. Yours I get. Yours I don't know. Yours appears in the box. And then the card that comes out of the box changes to the 3rd card. So it's always about changing up the levels rather than just making it so direct. And that makes it more interesting for the audience as well. So the fan force is really fun utility to use. Do I have any questions so far about any of this stuff? Good?
Not as right now.
Good. All right. So that's the fan force, just a very slight thing. Now, people, so over Zoom, I have an advantage here because I can say, look, I'm not going to look, just you have one, and I'm looking right at the camera. But it doesn't matter because they think they're just looking at a whole spread of cards anyway. Okay. And we're done. So we have the 3rd card there. So we have the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd cards, and they get revealed in the way they do. So Matt Adams is asking about outs. What do I do if the card isn't the right one? I run very quickly and move on to the next trick. No, what do I do? All right, here's the first thing I do. The first thing I do is I don't sweat, right? So I don't sweat. Here's the thing. Nobody is chasing you. Magicians have a tendency to run when nobody is chasing you. And the reality is that, you know, in this case, I also play it off. Look, if I got 1, that's amazing anyway. If I don't get 3, it's sort of okay, but I'm going to get all 3. So if somebody says to me, if I said, what was your card? It was the 2 of diamonds. And I think it was the king of clubs. Let's just say for some reason I did. Well, that would be silly because I fished for it. But let's say I thought it was the 8 of diamonds. And they say the 2 of diamonds. And I'm in position for the 2 of diamonds. All I say, what was your card? They say the 8 of diamonds. And I'm in position for the 2. I go, really? So all I have to do now is find my card, cull it, or cut the cards, or do a turnover pass or something to get that card into position. That's it. Nobody's chasing you. In fact, I'm going to do it as if I screwed it up with the card on the table. Okay? So let's say the card on the table has already been switched, which I'll talk about in a minute how I switch that card out. Let's say it's the 4 of diamonds, but really the card was the 6 of hearts. All right, I'm sorry. Let's say the card was the 8 of diamonds or the queen of diamonds. So I think it's the 4 of diamonds. And I said, Matt, what was your card? And he says, the queen of diamonds. Now at this point, I'd love to be able to show this, but I can't. I go, really? The queen of diamonds. Wow. I'm going to find the queen of diamonds and I'm going to cull it to the top. I go, really? The queen of diamonds. And I look down. So that's it. I find the card. I wait a little bit. I inject just a very little bit of time and misdirection. One of the best and most important tools that we have: time misdirection. In misdirection, we can do something over here. You don't see it over here. Much harder to use misdirection in this little box. Time misdirection inserts time between the moment and the magic, essentially erasing the moment. So at this point, I've now culled it. I wait for a moment. I inject some time misdirection, waiting just for a little bit. And then I do the same thing I would have done before. I look down. Let me give that look. And I allow the audience to come to figure out what's happening before I tell them what's happening. So at this point, as soon as I look down, they're going to be thinking, no way. There's no way. And now I know that that's not it. It's not the card. I better figure out a way to do this. So I need to figure that out, right? So what am I going to do? I'm either going to do a top change, which you could do, you could do a top change. Another way to approach this is very simply to do a double. So put it on the deck, do a double. You could do that as well. So any way you want to get that. You could do a switch. So you could palm off the card if you want to, top palm it, bring it to the edge of the table. I was terrible, but just give you an idea of that. Sorry about that. I'm watching the screen as I'm doing it. Lap it as you come up with the card and show it. So whatever you want to do to switch that card out can be done. But the point is, don't sweat it. The audience doesn't know what you're going to do. Insert some time misdirection and just be ready for it. And that's what I would say to that. So it's not a big deal. Now, in many cases, in most cases, the fan force will work for you if you do it right.
Jonathan, we had a couple questions, including the fan force. Willie Yee asks, could you show the finger placement to expose the 1 to 2 cards again, please?
Yeah. Now, what's important in a fan force is that it's not a big fan. Okay. If the fan is too big, then they have the ability to look at other cards. Okay. So we don't want that. We want to really constrain their field of vision. So I'm going to do a tight fan. And then I'm going to come up with the fan with the finger placement. So it's my second and third finger, and I'll do it exposed view just wherever they happen to be. I'm just going to spread the fingers. That's it. That's all it is. There's different ways to do a fan force. This is mine. It's a little bit more brute force, I would say. It's not as elegant, but it works for me. So as I come up, right, I just do that. But it happens on the way up. So if I'm here, just look and see a card. It's all about just boom, there. And it's about speed. You don't want to give them a lot of time. So you don't want to say, just look and see a card and wait there, because they'll find another card. And they'll also think, oh, he wants me to look at that card. But if you just give them a moment, then they'll go for it. Just look and see one. Do you have one? Oh, great. It's not the bottom one, is it? Great. And that's it. I would say this question of, I'm going to tell you a story. This question of, it's not the bottom one, is it? Okay, is so important. In live performance, I use it to glance the spread. Okay, it's not the bottom one, is it? It's that fast, right? I'm looking down, looking right at the spread of cards. So I always say it's not the bottom one, is it? I was doing the, Magic Castle now has Saturday virtual shows. I was on their first week of shows. And I did this and I didn't ask the question. I looked back at the video. There's only one card showing, the 3 of diamonds. It was the only card showing. I mean, it was such a tight spread. There was only one card possible. And I said, it's black. No, it's red. It's red. So I knew it was red. Still got my joke in. I knew it was red. I'm golden. I mean, it's the 3. There's no other card showing. It was the 3 of diamonds. I think I may have even said, it's a diamond. He said, yes. So I was like, this is fantastic. I'm in like Flynn. And so sure enough, I'm ready with the card on the table. And I go, what was your card? 6 of diamonds. I'm like, so, I mean, I didn't sweat, but inside I thought, what the, what is happening? And I looked back at the video later because I didn't know. I did not know. I had to switch it in for the 6 of diamonds, but the 6 of diamonds was the bottom card. And so it was the one time that I didn't say, it's not the bottom card, is it? So it's so important. Do it. All right. Anyway, that's the bottom card. I'm also asked, let's see. So that's the fan force.
Yes,
That's one question.
Kim Silverman asks, what do you do with the corner short riffle if people overshoot? They don't say stop until it's too late.
Good question. So I know I'm going to say very quickly say stop, right? So if I do this, and I say very quickly say stop, and they haven't, and they're just waiting, I just finish it out. I mean, I just do it. But here's the important thing, actually, and I think Kim, you and I may have talked about this before. Here's what I'm going to say: what you shouldn't do, but really it's what I believe you shouldn't do. You do whatever you need to do, but I never, ever make fun of an audience member. And there are, and if I do, I immediately turn it back on myself. Immediately. I never poke fun at an audience member or let them feel uncomfortable. And I have seen magicians do this, just say stop. And they've said some sort of derogatory joke if they don't get it fast enough. And now I'm even having trouble thinking what that is, but I know that this is what I've seen, right? No jokes to the audience, right? They don't know what you're doing. So if you don't get it and you have to keep going, I don't put it on them. I go, sometimes what I'll do is I'll just laugh and I go, I'm sorry, I just got distracted by what this person on the gallery was doing. I'm sorry, let's try it again. My apologies. Just very quickly, say stop if you would. And I'll just do it again. It's not a big deal. Find a way to blow it off. Nobody knows what you're doing anyway. There's no heat on you. This is the important thing to realize. There's no heat on you. If you come out with a character that is all about how great you are, you're going to have heat on you. But if you come out and you're relaxed and you're comfortable and you're just having a good time with the audience, there's no heat on you. So if they don't do it, I'm sorry, I just got distracted. I'm sorry, let's try it again. I'm sorry, all right. And sometimes I'll say, just as I go through the cards, sometimes I'll just speed it up and as I go through, just quickly say stop. But no derogatory comments, no poking fun. It's not their fault. It's a nothing. So I just let it go, which speaks to the entire philosophy that I have is nothing really matters. Nothing really matters. At the end of the day, we're doing card tricks. So as much as we want to believe it, it's not that big of a deal. And most of the card tricks are the same anyway. So not a big deal. All right, let's see. Which
Michael,
mark deck do I use? That's
yes.
a good question. Michael Green, I'm sweating just watching this. Why is that, Michael? Well, no. The fingers push the spectator's eyes right to the break. That's true, Dana. When you spread the fingers, how do you know which card of the two cards has been forced? Did I miss this? That's from John. I don't know, and I need to fish for it. So I'm usually going to get 1 to 3 cards in there, right? So let me go back to my big view here. Okay, so as I do this, there are 2 to 3 cards that are key here. The 5 of diamonds, the 6 of hearts, and maybe the 4 of diamonds. But it's probably going to be the 5 or the 6. Okay, but I'm not going to know that until I turn back and say, it's not the bottom one, is it? And as soon as I do that, I'm going to look down, I'm going to see the 5 and the 6. Okay, and so now it's a 5 of diamonds and a 6 of hearts. So I'm going to fish for it. You go to black card. No, oh, wait. So now I know it's red. Is it red? So I know it's red, so I know that's good. So it didn't pick a black card. And later I'm going to fish again. You had a heart? Yeah, you had a heart? No, diamond? Oh. Okay, so now I know it's a diamond. So I fish for it, but I move on from it. And by inserting time misdirection between that moment and the later reveal, nobody thinks back to, he asked me the color and he asked me the suit. Nobody thinks about that. Trust me. And I've done this thousands of times. I've done it in every show for the last many, many years. And nobody ever asks about it. And the callback is amazing. Okay. Anything else in there? A little bit together. Good. All right. should we talk about the switch on the table? Let me see, did that get by any of you? Did that look fair?
Yes.
Did? Okay, good. Thanks. All right. I'm seeing some thumbs up. Thanks, Kim. Okay. Hard to know sometimes. All right. Let me talk to you about what this is. This is in fact, I want to give you some history on this as well. I call this the Zoom change. The Zoom change, because it is, I came up with it because of Zoom, right? I needed a way to switch a card. And in a live situation, I can do a top change, which I can do here, but I'm going to be honest, it's very uncomfortable for me. I don't like bringing the cards together, and in this little box, and I don't want to turn my hand, I don't want to turn, so it's very uncomfortable. So I needed a way to switch the card because I wanted that reveal, right? Of that card coming out of the box, the 10 of diamonds, sitting on the table, and then having it look like it just changes in front of them. Okay, that's what I wanted. So I needed a switch to do, so I call this the Zoom change. I'm going to give you some background on this, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, what the timing is, but I first want to give a shout out to my friend. Forgive me for getting some water here. I want to give a shout out to my friend, Tony Clark. So Tony and I are buddies, and we actually work together on projects together. We consult together, and so in many ways we're of like mind, and in some ways we're not. So I call Tony and I go, Tony, I gotta show you this thing. I get him on Zoom. Check this out. And I show him the move, and he laughs. I said, why are you laughing, Tony? He goes, because about 23 years ago I created that move. I said, what? And on his Timing is Everything DVD, he does this tabletop change is what he calls it, the tabletop change. And he's doing the same move moment for moment. It's the same. So it's fantastic. So I said, hey, do you mind if I show it? Because it was an independent creation from me. And he says, no problem. But I just want to give a shout out to Tony on his DVD, Timing is Everything. So he's also doing this, and I think it really works well. So here's how you do it. The card that I want to switch for is on the top of the deck. Let's say we're going from the Queen of Spades to the Four of Hearts. The card is here. I'll do it at speed first, and then I'll slow it down. Look down, bring it up. There it is. I've exposed there, but there it is. And there it is. Okay, so I'll do it again without exposing the card. Let me do that again. There it is. And now I'm looking at the screen, and I can't do the move anymore. All right, let me do it again. Okay, it's too much fun to do anyway. There it is. I'll just do it. That's right, and there it is. And now both cards on the. Now I can't do the move under pressure, but I'm not sweating. Inside I'm sweating, but not outside. Let's do it again. I'll start with new cards, and that'll make it feel fresh. All right, here's the card. The Ace of Hearts. Thanks so much, and that's it. So that's the move. Now let me go through the timing, and it switches, of that. And I think it's very effective over Zoom, and it's also done on an offbeat. So here's how it works. The card that you want to switch for is on the table. I'm going to bring this card up to show it. Now, and as I'm doing that, this hand is going to come over and drop that top card. Now, what I don't want to do is drop it like that, because you'll see it. You'll see it right there, okay? So instead, what I'm doing is I'm dropping and just moving keeping my hand, my whole arm on the table, and I'm just sliding forward, okay? So an exposed view is this and that. That's all it is. Very simple. This and that, okay? So that way I don't have to raise my hand. I just come forward, okay? And even though you can do this surrounded in a live situation, you can totally do this move. Over Zoom, it's perfect because this is your one field of view, okay? So do it again here. As I come up, this hand comes down, slides forward, and I'm now in position. I show it, and as I come back, I'm going to Tenkai the card. Okay, I'm going to Tenkai the card. Exposed view, like that. As if I'm about to put it on the table. That's the action, as if I'm going to put it on the table, okay? But I'm going to lap it instead. So it comes back. As I get to this point, I move the hand out of the way, touching the card, lapping the card, and pushing the card forward. That push forward really sells it. Okay, I'll do it again. Here to there. Okay, so that's it. So that it's a very, I would say simple, although it does take some timing and some moving. All right, so I'm hearing that I flashed on the first time out. Sorry about that. All right, so here to there, and there we go. So practice it, practice the timing. The timing is key. When I first was doing this, I was coming away too fast, coming away too late, So practice the timing, and I think you'll get it. When you watch the screen, it's great because, we say that now, instead of mirrors, we have video cameras, and we can watch ourselves practice and do playback on it. And Ezekiel's saying, play it back, you're going to see it flashed, which is great. So I'll see that, and I'll have to adjust for it and make sure it's even better next time. So just do that. Watch it back, and you can watch the screen as you go, and you can actually do it really slow as you watch the screen. Say, okay, that's good. And then do it in slow motion. There, that's good, and that's good. Okay? So that's the action there. All right? So that is the zoom change. All right, anybody else? Let's see here. All right, I think that's it. That's it. Okay, good. Sorry for the flash. I'm having people tell me I flashed. All right, can you do the non-zoom change? What is the non-zoom change? What's the non-zoom change? I don't know what that is. Oh, the card in the box. Oh, the card in the box. Oh, right. Right, the card in the box. That's a good one. No, I can't. I will be, keep your eyes out for an effect at some point. I don't know if it'll be the end of this year or the beginning of next, that I'm going to put out called Just in Case. Just in case. And that'll be the card in the box. So I can't explain it now. I don't want to. But here's something to think about. What do you do when you don't have a card box that allows you to get the card in there that way? You can do anything you want. You can be creative, right? And we have to find new ways to do these things. You could, if the card is there and you want to switch it, you could switch it, as we talked about earlier. You could do a top change. You could do a double lift. You could do, a swipe as you take it off the table and show it, whatever you want to do, right? So there's different ways to approach that. But here's something I was thinking about this morning, right? So we find new ways to adapt, right? So this morning, I thought about this, just an envelope. And there's a lot of envelopes, by the way, on the market that switch cards out. You could easily use one of those envelopes, and they're amazing. In fact, they're better than what I'm going to show you because they're so clean. So you could purchase a prop that allows you to do a card switch. But I came up with this morning. I mean, I didn't come up with this morning. I put this together this morning. This is not hard. So I don't want you to think I've come up with something genius, because I haven't. But so I've got an envelope, and instead of showing the card box, I'll show the envelope, right? So I'll show that to whoever I'm going to show it to Matt. There it is, right? Looks good, right? Looks empty. I'll put that, your job, keep your eye on that. So instead of the card box, they're keeping an eye on that. And then when you come up with it, you can show the card in the envelope, right? Very simple. There's other envelopes that do that. I just made that in about 4.5 minutes. So that's something you could do too. And that's just a flap inside the box, right? But inside the envelope. But as it turns out, if you do this, that looks pretty darn good, especially over Zoom, right? Even though I'm doing that, looks pretty darn good. I just cut another envelope and put it inside. No big deal. And then I think it's very clean to do that. So that's another way to switch it. So adapt, try different ideas, try different things, and there you go. All right, good. Okay, so that is the opening routine. 3 different cards, 3 different ways to peek them or get them. You're adding layers in the way that you reveal them. And I want you to apply that thinking to anything you do. If you have a trick that has a linear direction, how can you change it up, move in a different way, reveal in a different way, have a multi-phase routine with different approaches to the way you reveal the items, just think about those things as you are constructing and kind of looking back at your tricks. Is it a linear A to B, or are you able to take the audience on a path, on a different path, and kind of throw them off the scent a little bit, maybe give some tension and release, so that when you get to the end, it's more of a fun experience for the audience. So that is the 3-card reveal. All right. And we talked about that and the corner short. Good. Any other questions? We good?
Good.
Awesome. All right. I want to show you a couple of other effects that I love doing and are my, I think you'll enjoy them. They are go-to effects for me. If I'm out and about, if I'm at a friend's house and they give me a deck of cards, or if somebody says, just do something, these are go-to effects for me that I do all the time. I think you'll enjoy it. So we're also changing what I'm going to teach you today. Some of this stuff is more finger flicking, and I've got some coin work that I want to show you later. Some of it is not and quite straightforward, but incredibly effective. So let's start with this. I'm going to bring somebody in to help me, and I think I'm going to go to a second screen here. Let me see, who can I bring in to help me? Who's got their camera on? John Thornton, you want to help me? John Thornton? Thank you, buddy. Okay. I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring John in. Hi, John. How are you?
It's great. Thank you for asking.
Hey, we can hear you. I love it. I love it. All right, good. And John, I'm going to do one other thing maybe to make this a little bit better. I'm going to bring my camera out a little bit so that I can conceal. Oh, no, not that. But maybe that. How about that? Okay. That'll be a little bit better. Okay, John, this is something that I do live all the time, and I love it. I love this trick. And it takes place entirely on the audience member's hands. And unfortunately, we can't do that now because, yeah, exactly right. If you could figure out a way, to do that. So I can't do that. So I'm going to see, let's see here. Looking at the, okay. Oh, do I have that on the, am I seeing the chat on the screen? Oh, that is showing up there, huh? I don't want to do that. And I don't want to do that. Okay. Okay. So, John, so it can't take place in your hands. So I'm going to have to make you feel that it's completely fair because it is. Because it is. I'm going to change decks too, if you don't mind. I'm going to change into another blue deck. Put this one away. Change this. So, John, you would be doing this all on your own, but I would have you shuffle the cards. So, John, will you take these cards and shuffle them? Obviously, you can't do that, so I'm going to do it for you, okay? I'm going to shuffle the cards fairly, and so you know that it's fair, I'm going to start with a deck that's in new deck order, okay? I'm doing this just so you know it's fair, all right? Okay. And then I'm going to shuffle the cards as much as you want me to, until you tell me to stop. I want you to understand that this is entirely your choice, okay? Whenever you want me to stop, I will stop shuffling, but this is all up to you so that you know it is fair.
That should be fine. Thank you.
Good?
Good.
All right, and I'll show you, we've mixed the deck. Fair?
Okay.
Okay, so that is totally mixed up. You have mixed up the deck. Now we need about 4 or 5 about even piles. So I'll just do this, just say stop.
Stop.
Sorry. Right, okay, that's a pile.
Stop.
Okay, that's a pile.
Stop.
Okay, that's a pile. We've got about two more piles in this, so I'm just going to split it into a couple more piles, okay? So we have 5 piles. All right, totally fair. You shuffled the cards. You've separated them. You've told me where to stop. Now we need 1 pile. So say yes or no, the pile you choose, one we'll use.
Nope. Yes.
This one here.
Yes, please.
Great. Do you want me to shuffle it?
Yes, please.
I don't mind. Okay. Totally fair. Totally fair. Okay. Now I'm going to have you look at a card. You're going to look at all the cards, but you're going to remember one card. Only one card, okay? So go ahead and look at the cards. You have it?
I do.
You have one card in mind?
Yep.
Okay, now look, everybody else saw those cards, but nobody knows the card that you're thinking of. I want all the other cards to fall away. If you saw the other cards, they fall away. You're thinking of one card, only one card. You have it?
I do.
And I want you to remember that card for the rest of your life. Okay? All right. Good. Now, we're going to put the card. Oh, you know what? Shoot. You know what I meant to do? Shoot. I meant to have you note where it was. Tell you what, I'll do this. I'm going to turn away. When I do, I'm going to turn the cards face up. And I want you, as I turn the cards face up, you're looking for your one card. Okay? And you'll count. As I deal each card, you'll count 1, 2, 3. You're looking for your card. When you see your card, just remember that number. So if this was the card, you remember 1. If this were the card, you remember 2, etc. Cool?
I got it.
Okay. I'll deal all the way through so that I don't know or have no information about this, but I'll just do it. So you're counting to yourself, not out loud, but you're counting and you're looking for your card. Did you see it?
I did. Thank you.
Good. So you've got your card in mind that nobody else in the world knows? And you've got a number in mind, don't you? So you've got a card in mind and you have a number in mind, yeah?
Correct.
Great. Okay. All right. So don't forget both of those things. We're going to put them back together. Which one should I pick up first?
Your far left.
This one here?
Yep.
All right. Which one next?
Then your far right. Then your far left. Far right. And then the last one on top.
Shoot. All right. We're going to see if this works. Okay. So there we go. It's fair? Good?
Fair.
Okay. In fact, I'll shuffle it in some more just so it's totally fair. You have a card in mind and you have a number in mind. Am I right?
You're right.
Okay. So the cards are now completely shuffled. I don't know where any of the cards are. I don't know anything about it. You can see they're entirely shuffled and mixed up. All right. Here's what I want to do. You have information that I don't have. You know the card that you have selected, and you have a number in mind. You've shuffled the cards. You had me separate the cards the way you wanted to. And now I am going to try to do this. I am going to do this. I want to take the card you're thinking of and put it at the number you're thinking of. You
Okay.
good, right? Yeah. You know what the card is. You don't know where it is in the deck, and I don't know anything about it. And you've got a card in mind and a number, and I want to take that card and put it at the number that you're thinking of. So don't tell me the card. Just tell me the number that you're thinking of.
2.
2.
Yeah, the good thing with Zoom, you can write this stuff down.
Wow, that is good. All right, 2. It's done. 2. 1, 2. What was the card that you were thinking of?
The 6 of hearts.
The 6 of hearts. There it is. Good job. Nice job.
You're giving me a headache here.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I appreciate that. That's nice. All right. So that is that. Now this trick I call piles, and it's a go-to effect for me because it really does baffle the audience, the lay audience especially. And it's based on it's the easiest trick I do. And many of you may already know how it's done. I don't know, but I want to talk about how I get there and what the psychology behind it is. It employs the the easiest thing we can think of, a key card. So it's all about a key card. The question is, how do we use the key card and how do we get it into position and how do we spot it and what do we do with it? So here's what it is. It's a key. It's the easiest trick. And here's what I don't want you to dismiss. The fact that you know it's a key card and the fact that I told you it's the easiest trick I do, I don't want you to dismiss this trick. When you perform this for lay people, it will fry them. I guarantee you it will fry them. I see it over and over and over again. Ezekiel says it's close to Jeff Williams' devastation. You're right. It is close to that. And it will fry laymen. I guarantee it. And there are moments along the way when you compile the cards back together, when you do the riffle shuffle at the end, that it will fry them. Okay. So let's talk about how we get there. Okay, so I need the cards fairly shuffled, and it is a fair shuffle. And again, this would all normally be done in their hands, although I don't anticipate anyone will ever touch cards ever again if they're not magicians. So we may have to employ these ideas for the future live audiences as well. So cards are shuffled fairly. Then the cards are separated into about 4 or 5 piles. And by the way, when I do this in my live performance, I'm often doing something else, another trick at the same time. In fact, this trick I'm going to show you next. And so I'm not even looking at this person doing it. I say, just make 4 or 5 piles. And I don't even care. I look away. I let them just kind of do it. It's very free form. It feels like there's nothing to catch on to here. Great. We need one of the piles. So I asked them to pick up a pile. They point to this one, let's say, and they look at a card. Let's say it's the Queen of Diamonds, okay? Which we know is the 5th card, but we'll say that, okay? So what's the key card? The key card happens to be the top card of this stack, the Jack of Clubs, okay? So the Jack of Clubs is my key card, right? John would write that down if he was thinking about that for me. So, all right, so that's the key card, okay? The Jack of Clubs. And now with that key card, that's all I care about. Because if I know where that key card is in the deck and the deck hasn't been really shuffled, then this stack never changes. So so now they know a card, the Queen of Diamonds, and they know it's in that stack, and that's all I care about. All I care about is that key card. So now if we compile the cards back together, that stack will never change. But first I need them to know where that card is in the deck. I need them to know the number down from the top of the deck. So I know it's 5 because I just looked at it, but I don't know what the card they pick. So it's the Queen of Diamonds. I'm going to turn. I'm going to do this fairly. Just count the cards in your mind. 1, 2, 3. They're counting it in their mind. 4, 5. They get to their card and they remember the number 5, and then I deal the rest of the cards. So now we have the number 5 in their mind, and I turn this over. Now here's what's important in this trick. Here's where it would not be interesting or magical. If I put the cards back together and very quickly say, good, now I want to put your card at the number that you just saw, or you just counted to, right? If you mush this together and said, you've got a card, what number is it at? Great, now I want to put the card at that number. That's not interesting. So I need to separate this. I need to put some time misdirection in, and I need to psychologically make them think that these are 2 separate thoughts. Great. Oh, good. So now you've got a card in mind and you have a number in mind. So I am physically separating those ideas. I'm thinking about it as 2 different things, and I'm physically with my hands saying this, you've got a card in mind and you have a number in mind. These are not connected. So I am separating these out. Okay. John's asking me when I identified the key card. I will tell you that in just a moment. So I know the Jack of Clubs, there we go, is my key card. You've got a card in mind and you have a number in mind. Don't forget those 2 things. It's not one thing, it's 2 things. So there's the Jack of Clubs, okay? We compile these back together. And now all I need to do is get the Jack of Clubs to the top of the deck, and that stack is there, and I'm done. So basically the trick is position the card at exactly the location that it currently is. Not that interesting. And if you think about it that way, you won't do this trick. And so I implore you, Do this trick. It will fry laymen. I assure you, and often magicians, but it will fry laymen. So please, please do this trick. Just do it in the steps that we're talking about. Separate the idea of the card and the number. Insert time misdirection. So at this point, I get that jack of clubs stacked to the top by simply giving it a cut. And now you can do some false shuffles if you want, but once you're in this position, all I do is I stop. I say, I want to take your card and put it at the number you're thinking of. I want to take your card and put it at the number you're thinking of. Now, at that moment, they'll go, well, wait a minute, that sounds pretty good. In fact, sounds impossible. So don't tell me the card, just tell me the number. And it was 5, right? 5. Now, here's the thing. I used to do a false cut. I used to do one of these. And then I could count off to 5. But I found that if I pick it up, Ezekiel says, occasionally you'll get a lucky card and it'll be your first card. You're exactly right. Sometimes that's the last one that goes up and you're done. It's a great moment. Great moment. Okay. So I say, I'm just going to give it a shuffle. I turn away. So I'm hiding the top stack and I do a Pharaoh shuffle, maintaining at least 5 cards in this case. Okay. But if I turn like this, as soon as they hear that riffle, it's over. I assure you, at that moment, I've seen it happen. I've seen the eyes of the laymen, of the lay folks in my audience. They go, "There's no way." I assure you, I know half of you do not believe me in any of this, but I assure you that will get them. So you do a Pharaoh shuffle, you put it down, and you pause and you wait, and then you do whatever you want to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Queen of Diamonds, and you're good. Yeah. Okay. So that is that. And so let me, thank you so much. Let me address some questions. How do I get the key card? When do I get it? And well, that's the biggest question, I suppose. So how do we get the key card? Several ways to do it. Now, for me, I'm using a marked deck. Very easy to get the key card if you're using a marked deck. I love it. Easy. Path of least resistance. But let's say you're at somebody's house and they don't have a marked deck, and you have a borrowed deck. By the way, I was at a friend's house a couple of days ago. He's a magician, and he was using one of the penguin decks. I noticed that it was marked, so I just said, "Well, I was going to show you a trick." I did this trick using his own marks, and then the next day, he said, "I've been thinking about that trick all night. I have no idea how you did it." I said, "Do you have any ideas?" He goes, "Well," and one of the things he said was, "Well, I know you knew I was using a marked deck, but that obviously was not it. So, because you wouldn't have done that." And then he went on, and I thought, well, that's exactly what I did. So it was great. But if you don't have that, there's different ways you can do it. If you're in a live situation and you're in this position here, I will demonstrate. I will say, take the cards in your hand. In a moment, I'm going to turn around, and I want you to take the cards from the top of the deck and turn them face up on the table into a pile, counting to yourself out loud. 1, 2, in your head, looking for your 1 card. 3. So if it was the third, if that was your card, you remember the number 3. If that was your card, you remember the number 4. But keep going all the way through so that I don't know anything. Go ahead. And this is what they do. They start by dealing. And I'm not going to do it here, but if I'm standing in a live situation, as soon as they put that card down, I go, no, I don't want to see. And I run away. And I now have it. It's perfect. It gets by everybody, right? Oh, I don't want to see. Great. And now I know my key card. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is the marked deck. But in the case of this, of Zoom, I just looked at it on the screen, okay? I just looked at it. And so I'm not going to look, but I looked. So that's it. So however you want to get the key card, get the key card. There it is. You're done. Compile them back together. Find your key card, cut it to the top. In this case, if I find the key card here, I can actually spread to it, complete the spread, and cut the cards if I want to. Very simple, very straightforward. Nobody knows what you're doing anyway at that point. Don't run when nobody's chasing you. So just cut the cards. It's not a big deal. Don't sweat it. Okay? And that is piles. One of my favorite tricks. Piles. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks. Okay. What do I want to do? I want to show you. Boy. Kim, I was thinking about doing 8 seconds. I decided on 8 seconds as the name. Should I do it? We'll do that. All right. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do 8 seconds. And then, somebody's asking about lecture notes. The answer is yes, I will have lecture notes available, and I'll tell you about that at the end of all that. Kim asked, when do you do when they reassemble the deck in such a way that their pile's already on top? You celebrate, right? So if you pile them up and you celebrate. Inside, you do a little dance, you pause, you give a little snicker. And if they say, why are you smiling? You go, don't worry about it. It's very Princess Bride moment. And then you move on. So when it's on top, it's great. In that case, I may do a false shuffle. I may do a false cut, or I may just do the Pharaoh shuffle, and that's it. So you're just happy. All right. So now let's see here. Pile, 8 seconds, 8 seconds. This name comes from a discussion with my friend Kim Silverman, who is a genius. So here's the trick. I love this effect. It is a variation of the classic effect, out of sight, out of mind. By a show of hands, how many of you know out of sight, out of mind? I'm looking at one screen of 49 people. A few of you do, many of you don't. Okay, all right. Let me show you this. This is my take on out of sight, out of mind. Good. All right. So what is that? Out of sight, out of mind is an effect in, and I meant to bring the book in here, in Ganson's Di Vernon's More Inner Secrets of Card Magic. It's a wonderful effect, and I encourage everybody to find that book and read it, the whole book. But this effect, out of sight, out of mind, great, great trick. It's procedural, and I wanted a way to cut right to the chase, and that's where this handling came from. So we're going to try this. I'm going to have somebody help me out. Why don't we do, let me find somebody. Oh, Ezekiel, are you about to show that? Do you have it right there? Stand by. Let me put you on the screen. Hang on.
I was just
Hey,
gonna.
Ezekiel.
Hey, can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
I just was pulling the book to look it up.
Great. Thank you. And it's also in the original. So you can find it in the trilogy. You can find it in the original Ganson book, right?
This is a
Awesome.
smaller book.
Good to see you. Hey, Ezekiel, thanks for that. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. All right. So, in fact, Ezekiel, you want to do this with me?
I'm gonna have to
you
get
focus.
off of here, so probably not.
Oh, you leaving?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Thanks, bye.
Thanks.
We'll get somebody else. Let's get somebody else. Dana. Well, I don't know. Your audio was not working. Let's go to Matt. Matt Groudon. We'll go back to you. Okay. You know your audio works. Oh.
Yep. Testing.
Good. Beautiful. All right. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you some cards. And as I do this, I want you to look at the cards and remember one of the cards that you see. Okay? Remember one of the cards that you see. I'm just going to go through them. Just look and remember one of the cards. Do you have one yet?
No, not yet.
How about now? You got one?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you have one?
Yep.
Yeah, just shuffle. And I would normally, if we were in person, have you shuffle this in, but I'll do it for you. Is that fair?
Sure.
Okay. Good? Okay?
Yeah. Good. Yep.
All right. In fact, I'll put it in the middle here so you know it's lost. Good?
Mhm.
Okay. So you have a card in mind? You
Yep.
saw a card, you're thinking of a card. Nobody else in the world knows that card. There's no way I could know that card. You're thinking of one card, yeah?
Yep.
All right. Cards in there. I don't know what it is or where it is. You know what it is, but not where it is. Normally, I'd give you these cards to hold in your hand if we were doing this in person. But I'm just going to put them on the table here, okay? In fact, I'll pretend that's your hand. All right? I want you to think about your card. Don't say what it is, but send the thought of the card to me through the camera, through the Zoom. It's black, yeah?
No.
No?
Don't make me talk Dutch.
Joshua, be quiet.
What was the card you were thinking of?
3 of hearts.
The 3 of hearts?
Yep.
Oh. Fantastic.
Yeah.
3 of hearts.
That's good.
Not the 4 spades. 3 hearts. Thanks. Okay, good. So that is 8 seconds. It is a variation on out of sight, out of mind. So it's really fun, and it's all about this connection that you're making with an audience and the intensity with which you're making it. It's called 8 seconds because Kim noted that it takes about 8 seconds for me to deal that first card off that stack into my hand. It can also be called intensity. He likes that name too because of the intensity with which I'm looking at somebody in their eye. Now I'm trying to do it over the camera here. And when you're in person, you focus, you lock on their eyes. So how is this happening? It seems totally fair. You've looked at a card, any card. I'm dealing the cards through a stack of them. There's no way for me. I've dealt through many, many cards. How could I know to stop on that card? And here's how it works. Now, in the original Out of Sight, Out of Mind, it was a stack of 9 cards. And you would take these 9 cards and you would separate them. Once they were seen in this way, you would separate them to the top, middle, and bottom, 3 cards each. And then you would have to ask, do you see your card? Do you see your card? And based on where they said they saw the card, the top, the middle, or the bottom, you could then use that stack to do the deal. For me, it's a little procedural, and I wanted to cut right to the chase and get right to it. So I'm using a different stack, and instead of 9 cards, I'm stacking 6 cards. And so let's go through this. And the stack, by the way, can be set up right in front of everybody. And in many cases, the stack happens automatically. If you take a shuffle deck of cards, the stack will already be done. And if it's not, a very easy adjustment will get you there. So this is a great thing to do, especially impromptu. If somebody hands you a deck of cards, you're at somebody's house, which hasn't happened for 6 months. But if it ever does happen again, they give you a deck of cards and you're set up and ready to go. So here's the stack. I'm going to start with 3 X cards. Okay, 3 X cards. And let me do this. 3 X cards here. These don't mean anything, but they are red, black, and red, or black, red, and black. I try to make them 3 indifferent cards. Okay, in color. Followed by, look at this. I'm almost in position. 3 black or red, followed by the opposite color in 3. So 3 and 3. Now I'm very close, so a very simple adjustment. And I'm already done. My entire stack is ready to go. Okay. It's very simple stack. So I've got 3 X cards, and then I've got 3 black and 3 3 red. Matt, I'm going to bring you in again to help me, okay? All right. So that's the stack on the face of the deck. That's it. And I want to get you to think of one of those 6 cards. I don't want you to think of these. Okay? I'm going to deal the cards from the top, from the face into my hand, but I need a ledge for them to deal onto. So I'm going to start with a little thumb break, catch a little stack of cards, about 10, 12 cards, something like that. There we are. And then I'm going to start dealing those cards from here onto here, maintaining a break below the first card, because ultimately the entire stack that I deal is going to be taken back under this stack, under this deck. Okay, so I need that break. So we'll get to that. So we have 3, 3, and 3, 3. Good. Okay. So I've got my ledge, and I'm going to start dealing. And I'm going to explain before I do. I want you to, you're going to see some cards, and I want you to think of any one of the cards that you see. Now, at this point, I don't want you to see those top 2, 3 cards. So I'm not going to show them to you. So as I was doing this, you didn't see them, did you? Right? So I'm going to deal them off, but I'm not showing them to you. So if I'm in person, I can I can turn my hand. If I'm over Zoom, I can turn my hand. So I'm just going to deal the cards slowly. Remember one of the cards you see, and you can't see them. So tell me, and Matt, you can confirm this or not if you take yourself off of mute. How were you feeling in that moment? As I said, look at the cards and remember one, but you couldn't see them. Were you feeling like, I can't see them?
Yeah, I was. I was like, what's going on? Is he doing that on purpose? Am I supposed to see the cards? I was like, I'm just going to wait till I can see one of the cards. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So now the reason, the intention of that.
Bit of dramatic tension. It's like, what's going on there? Yeah.
Good. And I'm glad. And the intention of that was to get you to eventually then see one of the next block of 6 and not wait so long. Right? And also not to see those top 3. So now we deal those 3. And on the 4th card, I'm going to turn back so you can see them. And I'm going to ask the question right away, do you have one yet? Which clearly you don't. And if you say yes, I know something's wrong, but they'll always say no. Okay. So as I turn back, do you have one yet?
No.
And you say no. So at that point, I know people aren't going to believe me. They will stop within 2 to 3 cards. Guaranteed. They will stop within 2 to 3 cards. Okay. They always do. I know somebody's about to ask me, what if they don't? I know it. And you should ask the question, but they always do. Okay. All right, good. All right, so they always do. So they'll stop within 2 to 3 cards. So as I deal that 4th card, I turn back. Do you have one yet? He says no. And now I'm going to deal slow. I'm not going fast. I'm going to deal slow, letting them get to the point of remembering one of these cards. I'll deal 2 more cards and ask the question again. Do you have one yet? At that point, they will either say yes right away or wait for one more card to be dealt. This is a psychological force. It will happen every single time. And if it doesn't happen, we'll get out of it, but that's what happens. So we're here. Do you have one yet? Oh, you do. When they say yes, I'm going to deal 1 more card, and then I'm going to hand them the deck to shuffle. And here's the motion. I deal it off. I come back, pick up all the cards above the break, and hand them these cards to shuffle. Okay? So at speed, it looks like this. Just remember one of these cards. Do you have one yet?
No.
How about, do you have one yet? Do you have one?
Yes.
Oh, you do. Great, great. Just shuffle it in, shuffle it in, shuffle it in. Okay. So it happens very quick. I take them back, put it down, give these shuffle. In fact, you can't, I'll shuffle it for you. Okay. So now they're shuffling nothing and the cards are all back here. Okay. Cool. Great. All right. So that's it. And now you've got the stack back here. So let me put myself back in position here because I was doing it with out of stack. So I'm going to do it. In fact, Matt, I'll have you do it with me again, okay? And this time, we'll do it again. And you'll remember one of those cards, okay? Don't tell me which one it is. but we'll go from there. So, but you know not to think of the first three, and you know to think of one of the cards in the six. Okay. So I want you to think of one of these cards. Do you have one yet? You have one? You have one yet? You're muted. Oh, you do. Oh, you do. Good, good. Just shuffle it in. Great. All right, Matt, go ahead and take yourself off of mute here. All right, so now these cards, in fact, I'll put them in here so they're gone. Okay. So now your card's lost in there. Okay, Matt, you there? There you are. There you are. Gotcha. 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 So now we know that it's in the top 9, potentially 9. It could be in the top 8 or 7 based on how soon they said yes. It could be in the top 8 or 7. I'll shuffle the cards. You can do a false shuffle here, whatever you want to do. I'm going to do a push through shuffle. Some face false cuts. Okay. So now we know it's in the top 9 stack. I'm going to put this in your hand and I'm going to deal out. And here's where the 8 seconds comes into play. It's all about intention. I could just deal some cards off and say, is that your card? But that's not interesting. It's all about intention. Something is happening here. You know, in all of these tricks, I'm finding your card. Big deal, right? Big deal. So how do we make this really focused? And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to stare straight into your eyes. I'm going to start to deal those cards off with intention. Now, these top 3 mean nothing. They're just X cards. Might have some fun with it. Back. Oh. Now I'm in my stack. Okay. 3 black and 3 red. 3, in this case, 3 red and 3 black. So it's going to be one of those 6 cards. I don't know which one it is. So I'm going to miscall it. This card is a red card. So I'm going to say, and I'm going to make a statement here, not a question, a statement. And that's really important. It's black, yeah?
Yeah.
So now at that point, they are either thinking, how do you know it's black? Or if I got it wrong, so let's say it's red, yeah?
No.
Better. It's better. So either way, it's a win-win. But the important thing is it's not a question. Is it black? Is it red? Not a question. It's a statement. It's black, yeah? It's red. So either way, you're fishing for it and you have a win, okay? So we know, I'm sorry, what did you say? It's black, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
So now I know it's not one of the red cards, which means I can go through the next 3 cards without a problem. Now, how am I looking at the cards? Now, I'm using a marked deck. It makes my life much easier. But let's say you were not using a marked deck. Okay? Here's what you do. You peek. And the peek is so simple. It's a very small movement to peek that card. If it is in their hands, it's even easier because the hands are higher. They're up here. This is why I put it on the card case. Okay? And you're simply pulling off, and a very slight movement lets you peek that card. The farther away they are from you, the easier it is to peek it as it comes near you. Okay? So it's a very simple peek. I'm using a marked deck, but it's a very simple peek. We know it's black, right? So I'm going to get through these 3 red cards. Now, that means it's one of the next black cards, one of the next 3 cards, which are black. So I know this is the 3 of clubs. I'll keep a break. And I know this is a red card, which means it's not it, which means, was it the 3 of clubs, Matt? It was. Okay, so I know it was the 3 of clubs, but let's say I didn't know what it was. And let's say I had some other black cards here. Because that's red, I know it has to be this card. Okay? Kim, you make a good point. Let me get the 3 black cards here. Okay, so we know it's this one. But let's say it was this one, the King of Spades, or it could be this one, the 6 of Clubs. So the first card comes off and I get a break. The next one comes off and I know that's the king. And the next one stays on the deck. And now I say, what was the card? If they say it was the 6, I can turn that over. If it's the king, I can turn that over. And if it's the 3, I can do a double and show that. Okay, so that's it. So you have 3 cards to choose from, and that's it. So that is 8 seconds, my variation of out of sight, out of mind. Very direct, very to the point, and a good connection with the audience. Cool. Kim makes a very good point. I'm going to read this again because he makes a really solid point. When you do the steal of the packet, this one here, you do it very quickly. Is that speed really necessary? The answer is no, it's not. It seems to me that the move is very deceptive, particularly with the dealing off of the 1 more card as you pass the packet, right? Why do it? It seems out of place and suspicious with the rest. 100% true. I agree completely. So if I were to do that slowly or slower, just say stop. Right? Or rather, do you have one yet? Oh, you do? You do. Great, great, great. Go ahead and shuffle it in. It's so much better. Thanks, Kim. So much better. I'll take it, and you're right, and I'll slow it down for here to the rest of my life. Thanks. Good. Okay. He says even slower. Okay, I'll do it even slower. You got it. You got it. Good, good, good. I appreciate that so much. So that is 8 piles. Okay. Good. We good? All right, thank you. I would like to show you something else. It's a trick that's near 10. It's called 10 seconds now. Thanks, Tom. The new trick is called 10 seconds, the new name. All right, fantastic. All right, this is a trick that is near and dear to my heart. Some of you know it, some of you don't, some of you have it, some of you don't. So I'm going to show this to you, and we're going to have a good time with this, hopefully. All right. I need some, you know what? I'm going to have a card selected. Normally, I would have a card selected and I wouldn't look at it if we were in live situation. In this case, I'm going to have a card named or created or picked. So let's do that. With the audio, I'm not going to have, I would normally, in a Zoom show, I would have several people name a card, you know, or create a card, red or black, and then it's a totally free selection. If it's black, it's a club or spade. If it's red, it's a diamond or heart. Now name a value. And so I have 3 different people create a card. But in the case of where we are today, I'm just going to use Tom. How about this? Our president-elect, will you help me, my friend? Okay, let me see if I can get you up here.
Working now.
Okay.
Test 1, 2.
Hey, Tom, how are you, man?
Good.
Good.
Great stuff.
All right, Tom, why don't you, what's that?
Great stuff. I almost wish I did cards.
Well,
You're
Tom,
teaching
name
me
a
some
card
stuff.
for me.
Yeah.
Good. Name a card for me, would you?
7 of spades.
All right. Now, look, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take the 7 of spades out just so we can see it, but it does not have to be out. I'm just doing it for your reference so that we can refer back to it later. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks. And we'll do this with you. We'll do this straight with you. Okay? 7 of spades is the card. Now, you say you don't do a lot of card tricks, right? But you know that card tricks are often, what is a card trick? A card trick is you pick a card, I either find it, I name it, I produce it somewhere, I reveal it, right?
Destroy it and put it back together again.
It's kind of it. But I don't want to do that. Look, I already know the card. We just named it. I know where it is. It's right there. So that doesn't make sense. So I thought we would try something a little bit more clever, a little bit more fun. So here's what we're going to do. Let me, I want to get to your card, but I want to do it in a way that is completely out of the norm of how we would normally do it. I want to connect in a way that we wouldn't normally connect. In fact, I believe in today's world, we're more connected now than we ever have been. The fact that we can do this, we have people all over the world watching this lecture right now, and I'm talking to them and they're talking to me. We're more connected than we've ever been. So I want to see if we can make a connection with somebody that we don't even know. So I thought for this trick, wouldn't it be fun? Let me lower my brightness down so you can see my screen here. Wouldn't it be fun if we called a total stranger? So we're going to call somebody we don't know. Okay. And we're going to see if they can connect with us on this trick. Good?
Okay.
All right. Tom, in fact, where should we call? Give me an area code.
Idaho.
Idaho, what's the area code? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I don't either. Give me an area code you know?
718.
Where is that?
Isn't that New York?
I have no idea.
Okay, hang on.
You're looking it up. All right, 718, probably New York. Is that New York?
No. All right, let's stay in Massachusetts. How's that?
All right, we'll go with Massachusetts. Where's Massachusetts? What's the area code?
413.
Now, in person, this phone would be in the hands of the spectators, and they would be entering the number, not me. So it's a totally random, fair number. In fact, you don't know anybody in Massachusetts, so Tom, give me 3 digits.
786.
And then somebody else will finish us out here. Joel, our current president, why don't you give us 4 more digits.
7714.
Great. We're going to call this person. And if they answer, we're going to talk to them and we're going to ask them to connect with us on this trick. Okay? Cool. Let's do it. By the way, are you getting I get butterflies when I do this because we're not allowed to do this. You understand that, but we're going to do it.
Like
I think it's okay. It's like a robocall, exactly. But it's over Zoom. What are they going to do? Come after us? Okay. So I'm going to make the call. I'll put it on speaker and we'll talk to them. Do you want to talk to them, Joel?
No,
or,
you're fine.
Tom?
Yeah, sure.
You're good.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again. No one's supposed to
All right.
be.
All right. The chances of getting somebody anyway is pretty great. Can we do this one more time? Joel, give me an area. I'm sorry. Give me an area code, Joel.
Sure. 845.
845. Where's that?
Poughkeepsie, New York.
I love it. Poughkeepsie. Okay. Tom, I've still got you on. Give me 3 digits.
684.
And then Billy Byron, finish me out with 4 more digits. I can't see him. I'm seeing smoke signals. 55. Was it 55? All right. Give me. I can't see him. All right. 2 more digits. Joel, give me 2 more digits to finish me out.
96.
Oh, now I'm unmuted.
Oh, I got you. But we got it. All right. We got it. Thanks, Billy. All right. We're going to call them. We'll see if it works. And if it does, if it doesn't, I'll move on. But this is a crazy experiment. We'll give it a try. It's ringing.
Sorry, I saw we got cut off. Do you need the serial number again, or?
No. Hello? No. Hello. Don't hang up. This is probably not who you think it is. Don't hang up. My name is Jonathan. I am not trying to sell you anything, and I'm not. This is not a prank call. I promise you. What is your name? Who am I talking to?
I'm sorry. What's your name?
My name is Jonathan. Let me explain what's going on. It's not a prank call. I am a magician in Los Angeles, and we're calling you in New York. I know this sounds odd, but this is we're doing a magic trick. I am doing a magic show right now over Zoom, and I have hundreds of people watching right now this magic trick. We called you at random to help us with the trick.
Okay, this is weird. I was just on with tech support trying to get my computer fixed. Okay, I can help you. I mean, I might get cut off here. I lost them. I don't know if they're going to call back, but.
All right, you are a trooper. Okay, you are a trooper. All right, look, what is your name? I'm sorry, tell me your name again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
I'm sorry, are you on an iPhone?
I am. What's your name? Steve. He's trying to FaceTime. Should we do it? Steve, hi. Oh my God, look at that. Hold on. Hey, Steve, my name is Jonathan. This is a Zoom call. Look, this is everybody. Say hi. Unmute yourself if you can and say hi if you can.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for waving.
Hi.
Thank you for answering.
See that? Can you hear that? Can you hear that? All right, Steve, these are, this is going to sound strange, but these are magicians. We're all magicians from all over the world, and we're doing a magic trick for you.
So wait, you guys, magicians do magic for other magicians?
We do all the time because
How do you fool each other?
that's a fair question. It's the
Many
thing that we try to
methods.
do all the time. All right, Steve. Here's what I want you to do. Thanks for taking the call, buddy. I want you to help us out with a magic trick. Okay. Now look, this is everybody, and we have who created the card? Was it Joel?
Yeah.
Joel here. Can you see him waving up there in the corner?
Right here.
Yeah. Let me make him big. Actually, no, it was Tom. I'm sorry, Tom did that, right? So Tom picked the. Can you say hi to Tom?
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Tom.
How are you? Yeah,
Is this weird for you? Is it for me?
we called you.
Yeah, how'd you guys get my phone number?
Well, we different people gave us digits, making up a phone number, and we got you at random in New York.
Oh, wow.
So okay, so I know. So here's the trick. So Tom is thinking of a card in a deck of playing cards. Do you know the cards you play poker, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I want you to do is I want to see if you can make a connection with Tom, and I want you to think of a card in a deck of playing cards, any one you want.
Right. You know I'm not a magician, all right?
Doesn't matter. It's just an experiment. It's just a way to connect. I just want you to think of a playing card.
Okay. Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. Now, do you all remember the card that Tom picked? You do? Yeah?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I want you, Steve, to name the card that you're thinking of out loud so we all can hear it.
Right now, just say it out loud.
Say it out loud.
7 of spades.
Yes. Oh my God. That is it. Unbelievable. You nailed it. Look at that.
Oh my God. How did that happen?
You nailed it. Do you see all that applause? Oh my God. I have no idea, but you are amazing. Steve, this applause is for you. Say goodbye to Steve and congratulate him.
Steve, what are you doing
Good
tomorrow
job,
night?
Steve.
What are you doing tomorrow night? Hey, Steve, thanks for taking the call. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you. That was weird. That's awesome.
All right. Cheers.
All right.
Okay. There you go. And that is The Stranger. That is a trick called The Stranger. And super fun. Super fun. So, do you want to talk about that? Yes?
Please.
We good with that?
Yes, please.
Some of you have it. Some of you don't. Some of you have heard of it. Some of you haven't, right? Who's never heard of The Stranger? Just by a show of hands. There are a few of you? Okay, good. All right, well, we'll talk about this. Okay. The Stranger is a trick that I put out on the market about a year ago. It's the most fun I've ever had doing magic ever in my 41 years of doing magic. And it garners standing ovations, and it's so much fun for me to do. And I've got a lot of people doing this, and they're ending their shows with this, as I am these days as well. So this is what do I say about this? This is an app for your phone on iPhone or Android. It allows you to do it any place, anytime, anywhere. And in fact, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again very quickly, because I want to show you different ways that we can do this. Okay, different ways we can do this. So Joel, we'll do this. Actually, Joe, I'm going to do the most down and dirty way of doing this. Joe, would you give me a card, please?
A card.
Just name a card.
Oh, 6 of diamonds.
So here's what I want to do. We are going to call somebody at random. So I would give you my phone, right? Let me see if I can you see this? I would hand you my phone. You would, and you can do this, but we're going to press the phone. We're going to go to the phone and we're going to call somebody. And you would put in a random number, okay? So I'm going to put in any random number for the sake of time. So it doesn't matter. 562, that's Long Beach. 785 4569. So random number, okay? That's it. And then we're going to place the phone call. So, and you could actually do this in your hands, but we'll do this. I'm sorry, I forget now. What did you say the card was? 6 of diamonds? I
Yes,
forget.
diamonds.
Okay.
6 of diamonds, yes.
6 of diamonds, okay. So we'll make, this is a down and dirty way to do it. Make the phone call.
Thank you for calling
Hold, please.
Excuse. Did he just put me on hold? He just put me on hold. I'll call somebody else. We'll do this again. I'm sorry.
Thank you for holding. Is this for delivery or pickup?
Neither. Don't hang up. My name is Jonathan. I'm a magician. Do not hang up. I'm doing a magic trick, and I'm wondering
Are
if
you ordering a pizza?
I'm not. Look, very quickly, I just need you to name a card in a deck of playing cards. That's all I need you to do. Can you do that for me? Very quickly, and I'll leave you alone.
Just name a card?
Just name a card in a deck of cards. That's all you have to do.
6 of diamonds?
Yes, 6 of diamonds. That's it. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Thank you for helping.
Okay.
Have a great day. Okay?
Thanks for calling Antonio.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye. That's it. So that's another way to do it. So the Stranger is this app that allows you to, on a base level, have any card selected, named, picked, and then revealed by a total stranger. So it is, of course, the evolution of the old wizard, right? We all know the wizard effect, or most of us do. But this takes it to a whole new level. So we're able to call a complete stranger, random number made up by the audience, and you can interact with that person and have them reveal the card. That's on the base level of what this is at its base form. So that's what this is. Any questions? Any other questions about that? Okay. Okay. All right. Now, let me tell you a couple of things about it. There's different ways to do this. For a playing card, for instance, that first call with Steve was a live call. That was a live call. We called Steve and we interacted with him in real time. The second call to the pizza place was a recording. Okay, was a recording. And I interacted with that recording, and any card that was named is revealed during the course of the recording. There are different recordings built into the app and to interact with it in different ways. So, for instance, can I do one more? Is that okay? Thumbs up if you're okay with that. Or, okay, we'll do one more and we'll make this very quick. Joel, or Tom, yes. Tom, name a card. Name a card.
4 of hearts.
I didn't hear. Did you say the? What did you say?
4 of hearts.
4 of hearts.
Yep.
Okay, 4 of hearts. All right, I would give you my phone, and we would make a phone call. Okay, so you could put in any number. We'll put in 818. That's here in the Valley. Put in the digits, whatever it is, totally random, and we'll call 4 of hearts. Okay, and we'll do this very quickly.
Hello?
Oh, hey, hi there. Who's this, please? What's your name?
This is Amanda. Who's this?
Amanda, my name is Jonathan. Do not hang up. This is not a prank call. I'm a magician, and I'm wondering, we're calling you at random to help us with a magic trick. Do you have a second to help us?
Wait, what? Who is this?
I'm sorry. My name is Jonathan. I'm a magician. I'm sorry. We're doing a magic trick. I'm sorry. What did you say your name was?
Amanda.
Amanda. We're doing a trick for a lot of people. Can you say hi to Amanda? Say hi if you can take yourself off mute.
Hi, Amanda.
Can you say hi to them? Say hi, Amanda.
Hi.
Okay, perfect. So we're doing a magic trick, and we want you to help us with a magic trick. So do you mind? We called you at random. Do you have a second to help us?
Yeah. No. I guess I could do that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I wasn't expecting that. All right. So here's the thing. My friend Tom picked a card in a deck of playing cards. I want you to name the same card that he's just thinking of.
That's impossible. I can't even see the cards.
Well, we don't even have cards. You just have to name a card. Just name any card in the deck of cards. That's all you have to do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Great. Just name it. Just name it out loud. Name the card.
Okay. It can be any card.
Any card in the deck of cards. Just name a card.
4 of hearts.
Yes, that's it. Correct. That's amazing.
That's it. It's 4 of hearts.
Yes, it is. You did great. Thank you so much, Amanda. You're amazing. Thank you for helping.
How did I do that?
Honestly, I have no idea. But thank you so much. You're incredible.
I'm a wizard.
Yes, you are. Thanks for helping. I appreciate it, Amanda. Have a great night. Bye.
That's so fun. That's so awesome.
Yeah, it is. You're awesome. Thanks, Amanda. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. There's that. So that's another recording, right? So we're interacting with that recording as if it were real, and any card is revealed. So that's the basic idea of the Stranger, available on iPhones or Android devices. Any card revealed. And then we've taken it past that to now you can reveal anything. So you could do a book test, or you could reveal a number, or last 4 digits of a PIN code, or you could reveal kind of anything. You can match a Rubik's Cube. You can have an audience mix up a cube fairly, call a stranger. That stranger has a Rubik's Cube and the cubes match 100%. That's all possible with the stranger. So the stranger is a way to call somebody completely at random and have something revealed. Anything, a name, a word, a number, anything. And that's the stranger. And that's something I wanted to show you. So any other questions about that? Actually, Matt says that's what magic is supposed to be. I appreciate it. It is the most fun I've ever had doing magic. I kid you not. And I've been working on it for several years. It's been out for about a year, and it continues to evolve and develop with new features and functionality coming to it being developed every single day, and they're coming quite often. So good. So that is the stranger. I hope you enjoyed that. Any more of a demonstration? But yes, there it is. Thanks. How did you get a word? You know what? Can we try to do this in a different way? Can we try to do something in a completely different way? And I'm going to do something for you that is and by the way, it's also built in with convincers. That first call that we made that was a disconnected call, completely built into the app. Okay, so that's all part of the trick. John says unethical to the max. The name of the stranger app is the Stranger app. All right, so that convincer of a disconnected number, or you could go to a voicemail, or you could call somebody that hangs up on you. Those are all convincers built into the app to allow you to truly make this a real experience. And again, it's all about tension and release. That's what this entire effect and routine is about, tension and release. So you get the audience going with you on this ride. They're uncomfortable about making the phone call. They see that, you feel that uncomfortableness. Then you get a disconnected number. At that moment, they relax and they release, and then you do it again and they hit you. And often they'll say, do it again, do it again. So they'll actually direct the trick for you. I want to try something very quickly, and then I'll move on from this, but very quickly, let me do this. You know what? Mark Whitehouse, Mark, are you there? Let's get you off. Let me get you on screen and get you off of.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Mark, you've got books behind you, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I want you to know, I'm going to say something for you first before we do this, because now it's all going to make sense. When we called the live stranger, that was a real person. And that real person in this case was my buddy, Tad Nyland. Mad Tad, as he goes. And he was somebody that's in my contacts, so I called him. We're going to call him again. So the mystery is shattered, okay? For all of you, the mystery is shattered, okay? It is on the App Store, Herb. I'll explain that in a moment. If you do a search for the Stranger app, or if we put in the Stranger, Jonathan Levit, you'll go right there. Or from the website, it'll take you to the App Store. Okay, Mark, would you do me a favor and grab a book? Are those real books behind you, or are they fake?
They aren't, but I've got some books near me.
All right, grab a book.
Green
They
screen.
would be real. I thought they were real. All right, I want you to take that book, open it up to any page. What book is it?
Tell me if it'll work. It's the Manual of Steel Construction.
Oh my God, one of my favorites. Oh yeah, so it's a good book. All right, great. The third chapter is amazing. Open that book anywhere you want. Okay. I want you to put it on the table, close your eyes, take your finger, circle around the book, and drop on any page, on any word. Now, you can look down at it. Did you get a word?
I did.
What is it?
Determine.
Determined?
Determine, I with an E.
Determined. Would you grab a piece of paper? And I want you to write that down so that you actually bring it into the world.
Okay.
You actually make it real.
Done.
Oh, it's done?
Yep.
Can't see it. Okay, determined. Put it down so we can't see it. In fact, maybe we put it down, face down. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to call a stranger. So I'm going to open up the phone here, hand it to somebody. They're going to put a number in. We'll put in 626. That's Pasadena. They put in any numbers they want, and they make the phone call. Put it on speaker. And we're going to get somebody here.
Hey, we're going to have to let you in. The buzzer isn't working.
No, we're not at the front door. It's not who you think it is. Look, this is not a prank call. This is and I'm not trying to sell you anything. Will you help us with a magic trick?
What?
I know it sounds crazy. So hey, Steve, is your name Steve?
Yeah, how did you know that?
Good trick. All right. So here's what we're doing. We're going to show them this other incarnation of this effect. So Steve, would you go to FaceTime for me, please?
We're not going to do the whole thing.
We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. We're going to cut to the chase. He's going to FaceTime. Okay, we'll answer the call. Hey, that's my buddy Tad. Say hi to Steve, or Tad. He goes by Tad though. His name's not Steve. All right. Our friend Mark here. Say hi to Mark.
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Doing good.
All right. So Mark here, I want you to do me are those books on your shelf back there?
Yeah, they are.
I'd like you to grab one of those books. Any book you want.
Any book?
Any book.
Let's see. Doesn't matter.
Any book. Doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm going to grab this one.
All right. I want you to put it on the Millionaire Next Door. Okay, good. Put it on the table. It'd be great if you picked the same book that you had, Mark. Put it on the table. Close your eyes, and I want you to drop your finger. Open it up to any page. Doesn't matter what page.
Okay.
Close your eyes. Circle the page and drop your finger onto the page. Anywhere. Open your eyes. Did you land on a word?
No, hold on. I landed right on the edge of the page. Hold on. Okay.
You got a word?
My finger is covering a word, and it's also right below a word.
Pick one of the two.
Okay.
All right. Remember the word. Close the book. Put it away. In fact, bring it in the world. Take that word that you're thinking of and write it down on a piece of paper.
Right. Let's see. Okay.
Do you have a piece of paper there?
I do. I actually have Post-its here. And just write it down.
Yeah.
Okay. You like how I'm still going through with the...
I do. You're milking this, buddy.
Okay.
All right. You've got it written down?
Yes.
All right. You're thinking of a word. Mark also did this. He's thinking of a word. So Tad, Steve, whatever your name is, would you tell us and hold up the word that you found in that book?
Yes.
What is it? Say it out loud.
Determine.
Determine. Mark, hold it up. Unbelievable. Thank you. Instant book test. All right. So you can do this with a book test that you might own if you have your own words, or you can do it on the fly with a word just created on the fly. So, hey, Steve, Tad, thanks for helping us, buddy.
Yeah. Do you like how I switched my look for you, even though I knew what we were doing?
I did. You actually changed shirts, I think.
I changed shirts, took glasses off, took the cap off.
You're a good man. Thanks for trying. Same backdrop, though. All right. Hey, thanks, Tad.
Yeah.
So anything can be done, any word, anything can be named, any number, and that is The Stranger. Thank you so much. It's a passion project for me. It's been a huge endeavor to bring this to market and to continue to develop it. It's been tons of fun. And what we have That's fun. What we have is we have a community that's been built out of this. I just want to say this before I move on to anything else. We have a whole community that's been built out of this. This is not just about the trick anymore. It's about the community surrounding it. And people have asked me, does Steve come with the trick? You know, do you have somebody with you? But what's really great is that you have a whole community of people that will support you and help you. In fact, we have on a Facebook group, a private group, a flourishing group of people all there to help you, answer questions, really be invaluable to you. It's a very positive group of people. And then in addition to that, we have WhatsApp groups in different countries. And so if you use WhatsApp as a messaging service, we have a group of strangers, everybody calls themselves strangers, and they've all become friends in these groups, like in the WhatsApp group, and you will text, I need somebody to help me. And within moments, you will have people responding, I can help you, I can help you. And so you have a flourishing group, a community of people, of strangers, all becoming friends, all wanting to help you at a moment's notice. And people are having a ball with this and doing things with it that I never would have expected. So that is The Stranger, and I hope you enjoy that. So thank you very much. And I'll make a special offer to you after all this is done as well. So, okay, thank you so much. So here's where we're at. I have some things to offer you, but how are we doing on time? Joel, how are we doing on time?
You're doing great. Actually, we're at 2 hour mark, but you know, there's everybody's
Is it possible
really...
to show one more thing before we close this
Oh,
up?
please, please. Everybody's loving this. So let's.
Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Yeah? Okay. All right. And Tom doesn't do card tricks, so I thought I would do a coin trick. I'd like to show you one last thing before we go, and then I'll talk to you about what I have. I have some special offers for you as well. So, okay, let's do that. This is a little thing done with 2 cards and 4 coins. Everybody can see the coins and the cards, I hope? Good. The last thing I want to do is fool you. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you everything I'm about to do before I do it, so there's no questions in the end. I'm going to cover 2 of the coins with the cards, okay? And then one at a time, the coins, I should mention, these are 1964, I don't know if you can hear that on the microphone, silver $50, pure silver. The only year they made 1964 silver $50. Thank you so much. The coins will disappear one at a time, and they will reappear underneath the card with this coin, the leader coin. Are there any questions? Good? Cool. Okay. So the coins will disappear one at a time, and they will reappear underneath the card with this coin. So keep your eye on the leader coin and make sure I don't do anything sneaky. Here's the first one. It's actually the wand that does the magic. Gone. Thank you very much. Thank you. Under the card. Thanks. That's the first one. Watch the second one. Oh, it gets harder. It gets harder from here. Watch. Do a better spin than that. Gone. Under the card. That's now watch. I'll give you a choice. Joel, do you want to see the last coin jump from here to join the 3, or the more impressive 3 to join the 1? Totally up to you.
3 joining the 1, please.
3 to join the 1. Good. That's the one I practiced. 3 to join the 1, one at a time using the wand. That's the first one. Thanks. And oh shoot, I forgot sorry. And the second one. Thanks so much. Thanks. And the last one. There we go. Actually, to be fair, that's not the last one. Thanks so much. That's the last one. All gone. That's it. Thanks so much. Thanks. All right. So that is called, thank you, the Unmatrix. And it ended my show for many years. I'm usually ending with a stranger now, but this either comes very close to the end or ends the show, depending on what I'm doing. It's always been done live, and I rarely have done it over Zoom. So this was a sort of a new experience for me, but I wanted to do it for you. And it's a coin matrix where they all vanish, obviously. But there's a lot of thinking that goes into it, and that's what I care most about in this. I'm happy to show you everything about it, but it's really about the thinking that goes into it. My philosophy is to be ahead of the game, In fact, I have a DVD series called Ahead of the Game. And it's all about staying ahead of the game, right? Being two to three steps ahead of the audience in every situation. And so the moment happens earlier than the reveal. And in this particular case with the Matrix, that's the case too. Every moment that happens, every magical moment happened 2 moves or 3 moves before, 3 moments before. And so every moment, especially for a lay audience, gets a reaction. So I thought we would walk through it, and we'll just gotta go through it. Cool? Okay. So we're gonna start by being ahead of the game right away. It uses 3 coins and a shell. And I'll just go through this quickly. I have a manuscript on this too if you're interested, but I'll just go through it quickly. So we're already ahead of the game by using a shell. The coins come out of the purse stacked 4 high, and they go on the table with the shell over here. All right, so I'm already ahead because I'm using a shell. The idea is to make the coins move one at a time and then slowly vanish one at a time. So I'm going to cover the coins with the shells, with the cards. I'm going to take 2, tip the camera to the mount. Cannot see the full mat. Are we able to see this okay, or should I move into this
clear to
position here?
me.
Is that better?
Oh, that's even better, but yes, we're both good.
All right, thanks everybody. Okay, so in this position, we're going to get ahead. I need to get this shell onto this coin. Okay, so right now it's on its own, but I need to get that shell onto that coin. So I'm going to do a pickup move like this. So it's actually coming between my fingers. Okay, and then I'm going to slide over and drop it off. Are there any questions? So now at this point, a moment ago, the audience saw me roll this coin. It's a solid coin. And then this comes here, stealing it and replacing it. Are there any questions? So there's no reason for anybody to think that there's anything other than 1 coin there. Okay? So you're already ahead of the game. So by the time you get to the end, it's already gone. All about being ahead of the game. You're way ahead on that one. So now I need to dislodge that shell because the coin is going to vanish and appear under there. So keep your eye on that coin. Now here's what the move that I'm going to employ. I'm going to come down, squeeze my fingers together, grabbing that shell and rotating to the right, which will dislodge it. But here's the important motion. It is not this. Keep your eye on that coin. Make sure I don't do anything sneaky. Instead, it's a symmetrical motion. Watch this. Keep your eye on that coin. Make sure I don't do anything sneaky. And it's the movement of both hands simultaneously that, as they mirror each other, that hides that move and takes the heat off of it, okay? So now I'm ahead of the game. The first coin vanishes. I'm going to do a feint. I'm going to actually put it in the hand, but pretend I have a thumb clip, a thumb palm, grabbing my wand. The audience will think that I've got something in my hand. Now when I do this, I'm creating an offbeat when they see that coin. Create an offbeat. During that offbeat is when I'm going to do the vanish. You can use any vanish you want. I'm using a Vernon wand spin to vanish the coin, but you could do a false transfer if you want to. Anything you wanted to do to vanish the coin, but I'm choosing to use a Vernon wand spin. Okay, gone. And there we go. Okay. Now I've got the coin in classic palm. I reveal that coin. Now, here's the thing. At that moment, the audience will gasp. I guarantee it. There was one coin there before. Now there's two. There's no way for there to be two. Trust me, they will gasp. And in that gasp gives you an offbeat to load the coin and be ahead of the game and ready for the next move. So now I've got three. So it's those offbeats that we're looking for to get us to the next moment. Now I really will do a thumb palm. They're used to the action. They're used to the way my hand looks. I'll ditch as I go for the wand. If I'm doing this in a live performance and I've got a coat on, I'll ditch into my side pocket as I go for the wand. But here I can simply lap as I go for the wand. I'll do the spin again, gone, and I'll spin again to show my empty hand. And that will get another gasp. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. At that point, I'll steal the coin away. And I can show you that steal if you'd like in a moment. Steal the coin away. And now I need to get rid of this coin. So I'm going to clean up my my action. And by the way, this is another place where I can slow down. I can take Kim's advice and slow down. I tend to do this move a little too fast. I'm aware of that. And I've been trying to change my behavior on this. But I'm going to clean up. I'm very casually going to grab this purse and just move it out of the way, loading the coin under the purse. It's a very casual moment. I've got this in clip. I'm just going to clean up, move it away, just to clear my space. And now that coin is away. And now I'm going to start moving the coins from here back to here, one at a time. It goes. It's gone. And that will get a gasp. There were 3 coins there a second ago. Now there's 2. That's it. Now I need to lodge that shell back onto the coin so I can move the next coin, banish the next coin. I don't want to do this, so I need an offbeat. So without using the wand, I'll say, there it is. Oh, we'll all relax as we laugh at the fact that it didn't happen. That gives me an offbeat to load the shell and drop the card back on the shell, on the coin. Now you're already ahead of the game. Now it's gone. You will get another gasp. I guarantee it. There is no person in the world that is not a magician that is thinking to themselves, I wonder if they have a coin that's been hollowed out that can fit on top of the other coin. Not going to happen. Okay. So that's it. So now you're ready to go. In that offbeat moment, I'm going to steal that away. Now I did something which I wasn't happy about in this performance. I rushed something and I didn't want to do it. What I would have rather done. So what I did was I stole, came down, and then ditched or put into palm. But the move that I wanted to employ, and it was just my adrenaline that got the best of me, was this. I steal and I relax. I wait a moment. Okay? So there's the coin in clip. Then I reach for the wand with the clipped coin. And as I come here, I ditch the coin. So it's a much more organic move. Okay? So what I did, it's a good teaching moment. What I did improperly was this. Here, and I went right here, too fast. Instead of here and relax, grab the wand, and it's gone. Much better, okay? So now it's gone. The audience thinks it's over. All the coins are there. Now you have that great last moment that you were so ahead anyway, and it's gone. And that's the unmatrix.
Jonathan, can you show that steal, please?
Yep, thank you for asking. All right, the steal. Let's talk about the steal. I think it's a very clean steal. I learned it from my buddy Dean Dill, and I want to say I learned it from Dean Dill, but I realized I originally learned it from Portfolio One from John Mendoza. So, and then forgot that I learned it, then learned it again from Dean, and now here we are today. Okay, so it's I think a beautiful steal because it looks so fair, especially right in front of the camera. Okay, so here's what it is, and I'll just the card is clipped between the first finger and second finger. I'm going to come down, make contact with the front of the coin, levering it up. As my third finger comes down to clip it, we do that with the card. And now the important thing is my thumb, which goes right into the center of the card, pushes down as I peel my fingers away, stealing the coin. Okay, so from the front, it looks like that. And I think that's pretty clean. Okay. And at the end, I do it with the shell as well. So I steal the coin and the shell at the same time. Cool?
Fantastic.
Okay. So that's, I tell you, this was a signature piece for me. Most of my close-up shows with this. It's so much fun because you're taking an audience down a path and you're turning them the other way. They're not expecting it. So it's something I'm very proud of and worked for many, many, many years on. And it all started with the idea when I was a kid at Tannen's Magic Camp, when I was 14, wanting to vanish all the coins in a matrix routine. And Eddie is asking how I'm switching around. I'm using eCam. In a matrix routine, I wanted to banish all the coins. And so I was doing lapping routines, standing, having a pillow underneath, and I was dragging coins off the table. And I eventually wanted to be able to do this completely standing and walk away at the end of the routine and not have to carry a pillow on stage. And so that's where this came from. And it's evolved into this. So there are lots of great things, but the thinking about it is what I really care about, the moving of the moment and really having each moment live on its own and creating a magical moment for the audience, which are definitely applause cues. So good. Any other questions? Thank you. So I have some offers for you, but I want to say before I get into that, thank you for having me here. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being a supportive community. Thanks for being a wonderful community of magicians that I've had the pleasure of knowing for my whole life. And many of you are old friends and some are new friends. And so I can't thank you enough for having me here. It means the world to me. So let me tell you about what I have for you. Let me get some water here. I'm getting all choked up. You should mention I've noticed my parents are on. My parents. Mom and Dad, Audrey and Steve are here as well. Thanks for being here. And my father, people have asked how I got into magic. My dad was a magician as a young man. And I, when I was a kid, found some of his magic props. He's from New York. And everything that he had was from Tannen's. That means everything had a painted dragon on it, it seemed. And I found some of his magic props and the rest is history. So there you go. Some of you may know he makes those wands too, the Levit wand. He makes those beautiful, this is one of his wands there. So anyway, so that's my parents are here. I'm glad to see them. All right, so what do I have for you? Here's the scoop. I don't sell a lot of magic, but what I sell is all tried and true. It's all my thinking. It's everything that goes into, they're effects that I use that are dear to my heart. So I sell what I use. And so hopefully you'll get something out of it. Some of you will get something out of all of it. Some of you will get something out of some of it, but you will get something out of some of it. So standard length of the wands. Dad, what is the length of these wands? Do you know? I think it's 14, I think. Something like that. I can tell you later. All right. So what do I have? I have 3 pieces to sell you as a package and 1 thing to sell you or offer you separately. They're all offers. So I have my set of lecture notes called Musings, which include a variety of effects that I absolutely love, from cool spell to a psychological force between a couple to any card at any location using Pharaoh shuffles, to my bill switch, which is so clean. These are in my lecture notes. And including, if anybody here has read Scripting Magic by Pete McCabe, in the first volume, I have he's written an article with me, a chapter for me, and that's been excerpted and put in the the lecture notes. So that is Musings. Version 2.0 of Musings includes all of that, plus 8 seconds, piles, and the zoom change. Those are all found in there as well as videos. So this is a digital product now. You've got the write-up and you have those new videos that you can all watch through this document online. So that is my lecture notes called Musings 2.0. Musings 2.0, okay? In addition to that, I have, and that normally sells for $29 as a digital download for all those videos and all those tricks. So that's actually a great steal because it's got all that stuff in it. And you'll probably use most all of the effects that are in there. They're all what I use. They're killer. In addition, I have my Penguin lecture that I gave a few years ago that has all of my thinking on my original close-up act of the Magic Castle and some other elements and all the thinking that goes into them, not only the methods, but the thinking, the timing, the psychology, the audience management, all of that is in my Penguin lecture. And then in addition to that, I have the Unmatrix, which is this entire coin routine, taking you through step-by-step, both as a manuscript and also as a video lesson. So you get to see all the moves, all the thinking, all the pickups, everything in that routine. So all together, those 3 individual pieces, of which you will find something, if not in all of it, definitely in some of it. They normally sell as a package if you bought all 3 of those independently for $158. But today, that is not the case. For SAM members, I'm going to leave a site up that you can purchase all of this for 1 week. I'm going to leave this site up, and then I'm going to take it down. And you can get all 3 of them for $49. Okay, so if you're interested in that, all 3 of those pieces for $49, and you can find that at this website. So if you go to twistingtheaces.com, that's my store page, /cyber lecture, you can get that deal. That's a pretty good deal. And I would say that if you take 2 tricks out of Musings, it's worth it. If you take 1 trick out of it, it's worth it. You get 1 thing that you can use, but you get so much content in all of those pieces. So that is, I've never made that deal before. It's just for the SAM lecture folks, okay? I'm not spreading the word about this website. So there's the website. All right. So that's what I have for that. I have 1 more offer for you if you're interested, and that is The Stranger. The Stranger sells as a, it's an app, as I said, on iPhone or Android. In it are revelation modules, ways to reveal something, whether it's a playing card, a book test word, a custom word, a number. There are ways to reveal off of an NFC tag if you have a sticker that's an NFC. So lots of different ways to reveal something. If you are using the playing card revelation module, then you have the ability to not only call a live stranger, but also to call a recording and use those recordings that I showed you and to have any card revealed. So within the app, you have the ability to unlock all of those modules. They're all separate purchases. The playing card module sells for $149 retail. If you're interested in this, you can access this through that same site for $99. So if you're interested in that, let me take this away here. You can do it through that same site for just $99. So that's the deal there if you're interested in the Stranger app. Let me get rid of these things. And so that is what I have for you. It's, again, just for this week. And if you're interested in that, and I hope that is of interest to you. And that's what I have for you. And I hope that you've gotten something out of this, because I certainly have enjoyed presenting it to you. So Joel, Brett, John, thanks for having me here. And if there are any other questions, I'm happy to take them. And I think that's it. So thank you, everybody. And then, by the way, you all can reach out to me at any time. I'm very accessible. So anybody that has anything they want to talk to me about. So,
Jonathan, thank you so much. This was, what a way to kick off season 2. This was just phenomenal. Bravo.
Thank you so
Bravo,
much.
everybody.
Thanks so much. Thanks, everybody. And I hope we get to see each other in person soon.
And thank you all for coming here tonight and watching this. And we'll see you back in 2 weeks on the SAM lecture series. See you, everybody. Take it easy.